time for the obvious. What you need to know, the untold secrets to create global success. Written by Mr. Bill Walsh from Power Team International. Welcome to the Success Club. Here we go.
Welcome everyone to The Obvious with Bill Walsh. My name is Michelle Finnegan Nixon and I am your host today. Today I have a very exciting guest. His name is Ari Galper. He is one of the best sales coaches and sales trainers on the planet. He's been ranked very highly in the world, and we're going to learn a little bit more about him today as we get into The Obvious. And so first of all, Ari, are you there?
I am. Thank you for having me, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Great. Well, just to let everybody know, Ari Galper actually brought me into the digital marketing game. I should call it the unlock the what online marketing game is, what maybe beyond the unlock the game series. But I'm going to go ahead and read the bio from him in case you're not familiar with Ari Galper. You should be. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. Ari Galper is the world's #1 authority on trust-based selling and the creator of Unlock the Game. And he is a trusted authority. Both are revolutionary sales approaches that overturn the notion of selling as we know it today. His profound discovery of shifting one's mindset to a place of complete integrity based on new words and phrases grounded in sincerity has earned him the highest distinction as the world's leading authority on how to build trust in the world of selling. With a growing subscriber base of hundreds of thousands of members and clients from all over the world, Unlock the Game and Trusted Authority have become the most successful trust-based selling systems of our time. Ari has personally consulted with and created sales breakthroughs for business owners in virtually every industry. He has completely redefined how to create a deep level of trust in the sales process so that chasing prospects never has to happen ever again. Ari works one-on-one with ambitious business owners to completely eliminate all the sales resistance from their sales processes, from over the phone sales calls to online and offline lead generation, all the way through to sales conversions through the phone consultations, face-to-face meetings, and seminars. So there you have it, Mr. Ari Galper, and everybody says, yay!
I wish I get that when I get home every night.
So today we're talking about the obvious. You've heard the secret, and then there's the obvious. And so Bill Walsh, he's just been recently ranked #10 in the world of global gurus. And we basically, Power Team International is a firm he founded, and we help people start, launch, and grow their business to even greater success. And we do that by bringing on influencers like Ari Galper. Ari Galper can help people with sales breakthroughs. He's also understands all the moving pieces of a business. So no matter where you're at to start, launch, and grow your business, you couldn't have asked for a greater resource in Ari Galper and of course Bill Walsh. And so today we're here to talk about some of the topics contained in The Obvious. And if you haven't got your copy of The Obvious, you simply just text obvious to 26786 and you can get a copy. And then if you'd like to join our book club, you can either message me on LinkedIn or you can text Michelle to 55678. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the topic right now. And Bill talks about how success is a process, not an event. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Well, I think it definitely is an evolutionary process. It's like a part of nature. It has to develop, it has to evolve, has to be a system, has to be a process. It's not going to be a one-off event. And as you know, because if you focus only on a one-off event, you end up in a corner, you're kind of stuck. You say to yourself, how did I get here? So the real key is having a roadmap, having kind of a plan of where you need to go next. And there will be potholes in that plan, I guarantee you. You'll hit a wall. And you'll kind of go, oh, how did I get here? I've been there so many times, you know, I've tried different ideas. I get stuck. I say, oh, that didn't work. But then that's what distinguishes those who succeed and those who don't. Because when you hit that wall, you have to be able to have enough resilience to turn around, go back where you were at and keep going forward to another step. And that's the real key. It's almost like an S curve. On those curves, if you don't push yourself around that curve, the next curve, you're not going to make it. So you got to really tap into your potential, your authenticity, your power, and your resilience to say to yourself, this is part of the process by me not making it work. Who can I go to right now who's been there before, who can guide me to avoid the next curve? So what happens is over time, you get smart. You start hiring really good people who've been in that curve already. They warn you of the curve. You know how to avoid it. You save yourself lots of money, lots of pain, lots of time. So usually newbies just hit the wall and they get stuck and they wonder how I got here and they try again, hit the wall again. But when you get someone to guide you along the way, you avoid those curves, those edges, and you get there a lot faster.
I love that. We have an expression, keep going until you win. And you usually can't win alone. Why do you think so many people avoid investing in a mentor who can help them through the S curves of life?
I think people are afraid to ask for help. I think they're afraid to be vulnerable. I think they're afraid to admit that this journey has potholes and there's no clear, super straight line. And not having a straight line means you've got to show up and not have the answers and figure it out when you get there. And that makes people scared, uncomfortable, and afraid. And they don't want to show others they cannot succeed. They don't want to show they don't have the answers. The most important thing for you to know right up front is you have to be humble in this journey. You have to say, okay, I've got as far as I can right here. Who can help me get to the next stage? Who can help me get to the next stage, right? You may have read the book called Relentless by Tim Grover. He was the coach of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, you know, a kind of sports coach and mindset coach. And he was all about talking about helping these guys who are already superheroes recognize when they hit the point where it's time to get better again and get better again. They never give up. They keep improving. And that's really the key, is you have to be comfortable with the idea of asking for help and realizing your vulnerability is what your strength is.
It's very true. So who are some of the mentors in your life that helped you with the S curve?
I think a few you might know. Dan Kennedy was part of his mastermind group for many years on the direct marketing side. Perry Marshall on the more larger picture, engineering process, principles, part of the game to understand having a larger, wider filter on how you solve problems. And my dad also, who's a psychologist, and he was a real great coach, he used to always say to me, Ari, if the world's going that direction, make sure you always go that direction. The opposite direction, don't follow the crowd. They're going to go online, go offline. If they're going to start chasing people, don't chase people. So as you know, a lot of my work is very contrarian, unlock the sales game, where I teach people how to sell with trust. And I teach them how to not chase people, how to condense the process into one conversation. And that is all very contrarian, very opposite what how we've been taught to sell. So I can think the biggest lesson I got from my mentors is to basically break the programming we've been so stuck in for so many years and quit our own lane.
Yes, exactly that. I personally went from that traditional sales and I just kind of threw it all away for the unlock the game version of it. And what I have discovered in working with you and learning from you is that I'm the first people call. They'll call me before they invest in another program because they want to, you know, they trust my my input. They trust me. They know I'm not trying to sell them something, you know, just to make a dime. They know that if I am recommending something, it's because I believe it's going to work. What is your take on the obvious as far as finding the right people to work with as it pertains to maybe discovery calls? I don't know if that makes sense. Just
like, what do you mean exactly?
Like, you know, people a lot of times in business, they're putting together their discovery calls, but they're still trying to be manipulative. They're still trying to, they're focusing on like almost hypnotizing the person into buying their program instead of having that trust-based breakthrough that they really need. And that's the contrarian aspect of what you do so well is, you know, if you go out and you buy a scripting or trying to do a method just to close someone, I think your contrarian way is saying not to do that. Can you kind of like, I feel like I'm not as clear as I could
Well,
be,
I think
but-
what you're trying to say is, look, we do teach a trust-based mindset.
Mhm.
And what that means is letting go of the sale, letting go of your objective, letting go of what you want and focusing 100% on what the other person wants, unpacking their problem. We don't call these discovery calls, we call them diagnostic conversations, where you diagnose their issues. You're the doctor, they're the patient. Remember, someone's got a problem, they want the problem solved. They don't want multiple phone calls. They don't want to chase you. They don't want emails. They don't want autoresponders. They just want the problem solved. What do? We create all these hoops in between them wanting the problem solved and us trying to sell them the solution. If we can just deprogram and let go of that dysfunctional process we've been taught by the old gurus about how to chase people, it's a numbers game, rejection is normal, all that stuff needs to be thrown out, because that's all 1980s and the world has changed. And what we teach people to do is let go of the sale and focus deeply on what the person's issues is, your prospect's problems are, and unpacking those down, what I would call the iceberg, which is going deep and help them amplify the issues and help them ROI the losses so they can feel that they own the problem before they ask for the solution. Because a lot of times what we do is we jump into prematurely when we hear someone who's got a problem. We say, oh, I can help you with that. We got the greatest solution. And then we mess the whole thing up because now we're selling. So I tell people this: stop selling, start creating real trust with people, and you'll be very successful.
I agree with that. And in fact, this last week, I was speaking in front of a group and you came to mind. And I asked people, by a show of hands, how many of you have BTS, business trauma syndrome? You know, and what came to mind was years ago, you said there's so many moving pieces to a business that it can be very overwhelming and frustrating for people. It's like almost impossible for them to figure it out on their own. And they are traumatized. They don't always know who to trust. They want to do one simple thing. They want to create content. They want to package it. You know, they want to be a coach or whatever, but they're feeling so overwhelmed. And you had introduced this idea of be the doctor. You know, you have the aspirin, they have the headache, they're traumatized. You know, they laughed pretty loud, I must say, when I said, you know, how many here have business trauma syndrome, but it really is true. And we see all the, you know, on LinkedIn, we'll see a bunch of people pitching us and the messaging. That's why I responded to your video. By the way, go on LinkedIn, look for Ari Galper. He has these really cool, less than 2-minute videos every day with great content. But you're right, people are so busy trying to line their pockets that they don't even realize the trauma they're creating for someone else. That they get their anxiety. And maybe the person is happy on the outside looking, but as they're speaking to the person about their programs, their products, and how wonderful they are, the other person's blood pressure is rising. So how would you handle that? I know you talk about diffusing pressure. So I just kind of want to touch on that. And then I want to find out what you're working on.
Well, here's the thing. Your potential clients really don't care about how you solve their problem. They don't care about your solution. They don't care about your programs. They don't care about your demo. They don't care about your thing. What they care about in the entire time they're saying to themselves in the back of their mind is this. They're asking one question. They're saying, do I trust her? Do I trust her? Do I trust her?
Right.
Do I trust her? But we aren't constantly aware of that. What we're doing instead is waiting for the opportunity when we know we can help them to jump in and do what I call free consulting, free education, giving away value, because we have been taught by some people in the past that our job is to educate, show our credibility, and if we close our eyes, they'll be so impressed with our education that somehow they'll just sign up. How's that going for everybody today? Here's the thing. The world does not need more value. What they need is clarity. What
Right.
your clients need is clarity on the problems that you're helping them solve, not value on how you help them solve it. They don't care about that part. And that's so hard to even understand because we've been programmed and brainwashed to believe that we're so passionate about what we do, we should tell the world about it and change the world. And my God, that enthusiasm will just bring everybody to me. Well, if they don't know you and you're enthusiastic about what you do, what are they thinking? It's over at hello. And I
Right.
know I'm dropping bombs here and people's thinking around sales and they thought it was.
No, you're spot on, because you're right. All the gurus, I'll even put my hand up, we talk about value, 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 value stack. And what you're saying, contrarian as you are, clarity. And Kelly O'Neill, one of the quotes that I took from her was, stop putting your underwear over your jeans and jumping in the shower. You've got to start with clarity. Otherwise, because there's so many moving pieces, people start with the wrong thing. And if you're starting, like you said, if you put this overemphasis on value, when people, all they want is to sleep at night and be clear.
All they want is their problem solved, not value.
Yeah.
It's a word that has got seeped into our language,
Right.
and brainwashed in our brain that our job is to give away as much as we can to people pre-sale and just kind of hope. It's called hopium, the hopium drug. And just kind of hope they're going to like us so much and they're going to love our stuff so much. Well, by gosh, they're just going to sign up. Well, how's that going?
I got news for you. Well, you've been great on this obvious, because some things are not so obvious. We used to have an expression. I used to say, you either got to Galperize it or Ari it up, whatever you're doing. And so if you haven't been to unlockthegame.com lately, or got yourself involved in a really cool mindset club, I suggest you do that right away. Don't walk, run. But before we end the obvious book club here, what are you working on right now that you'd like people to know about?
I'm actually working on a new book and a TV show coming out.
Oh,
and
I love it.
The name of the book is going to be called The One Call Sale.
Oh, that's good.
How do you onboard somebody on one scheduled conversation?
I am looking forward to that. That's amazing.
It will completely change the entire sales industry when people realize there's a way now to actually build enough trust with somebody in one, not cold calling. I mean, a scheduled call with someone who's qualified.
Right. Yeah.
You can build enough trust with them on one conversation to the end, without pressure, without closing, any of that stuff that we all hate, to get a yes or a no comfortably. When this comes out, and I've got it available now, how we do this. Anybody wants to learn this, they can contact us. This will completely revolutionize the entire ability to generate new revenue and sales without playing the numbers game anymore.
You never cease to amaze me, Ari Galper. Australia is lucky to have you. But we do want you to come to America for sure and have another sales breakthrough event. And maybe you'll do it here at the International Success Center. We are in Vegas. We'd love to collaborate. But thank you so much for joining us today for The Obvious, written by Bill Walsh, Universal Truths. And start thinking about that S-curve and start thinking about the mentors you want to work with in order to survive those turns in the business world that you need to get through so you can have success. Keep going until you win. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Michelle Finnegan Nixon with Power Team International, and you have been listening to The Obvious, the book written by Mr. Bill Walsh. Take care and God bless everyone.